Welcome to Star Citizen and the Ship Guide. With this ship, we take a very close look at the real specialist in the category of light fighters. And we are talking about the Anvil Aerospace U-9C Hawk. Unlike almost all other ships in this class, the Hawk has a lot more to offer than you would expect at first glance. And as in every ship guide, we start with the exterior, then move on to the interior, where the Hawk offers a surprise, take a detailed look at the payload options, where we will also find more than just pure combat, to then get to the flight characteristics as well as in conclusion. The Anvil Aerospace G9C Hawk is classified as a light fighter, thus in the size small, and has with 60 meter length, 30 meter width and 4 meter height very compact dimensions. The components also come as with all other light fighters in the size small, whereby here the second shield generator represents a clear plus point. Cargo capacity is also not found on the Hawk. At just under 1.3 million Alpha USD and about $100, the Hawk is priced at the average and can be purchased in-game at Astro Armada, on Area 18 and for limited purchase at the Pledge Store. The armament comes with 6 hardpoints, 4 size 2 and 2 size 1. The standard loadout is completely fixed. And almost all weapons are mounted on the wings. A real speciality and above all an advantage not to be underestimated is the size 2 EMP generator, which can have real effects on a fight. However, the Hawk does not have any missiles for this. The second big feature of the Hawk is the prisoner transport capsule in the back. This serves in the later game the hunt for living bounty targets, and currently we have her with a log-off function, so the equivalent of a bed, in a Light Hunter and Novum. There are no other interiors and we gain access to the ship via the small elevator under the cockpit. Let's move on to the flight as well as combat data of the Anvil Aerospace Hawk. The Hawk has a very high combat speed of 275 meters per second, which is even higher than the competitor model from the own company, the Arrow. With a maximum speed of 1235 meters per second, we achieve the same value as the Arrow. So the Hawk shows no weaknesses here. In the standard loadout, we initially achieve a weak 1230 DPS, but with a very high alpha damage of 924, which does not seem unusual with a standard cannon loadout. With our recommended loadout, which for comparability mostly consists of attrition repeaters, we reach a good 2200 DPS. Because of the comparatively small hardpoints, we use a special loadout with neutron repeaters, with which we reach almost 1900 DPS. You can find the loadouts in the description and in the Discord for all ships. The cockpit of the Hawk, or better said the all-around view, is rather limited, especially downwards, but still absolutely sufficient. But now we come to one of the most interesting features of the Hawk, the rear extendable prisoner seat, because this has, if we sit ourselves in it, a log-off function, so acts like a bed. And that is in the range of light fighters in any case a clear plus point. But of course, not only do we have a very special bed on board with it, we can also safely transport a passenger, admittedly with a very poor view. But let's go to the main use of the Hawk, and that is combat. And here the Hawk plays surprisingly well even with a pure standard loadout, laser cannons paired with distortion cannons. But as mentioned, we use a special loadout to be able to use the EMP as efficiently as possible and to take advantage of the small hardpoints. Therefore, we use a pure neutral repeater setup. Because with this we have an effective range of about 600 meters, which suits our EMP, which we need to use even closer to be effective. We can use it in a minimum range of 250 meters and the maximum range of 750 meters, whereby a shorter distance to the target means more damage. And that under the best circumstances every 24 seconds, since we have 12 seconds to recharge and a 12-second cooldown. The pure damage that our EMP does is 1800 points at best, so quite respectable, especially since we can use the EMP indefinitely, unlike missiles, which the Hawk has to do without completely. Especially since an EMP that hits an already weakened target, weakened or failed shields, brings even more advantages. Here the enemy systems shut down and the target drifts defenselessly in front of us, an unbeatable advantage. But even without the EMP, the Hawk is a strong opponent. The good acceleration, a long thrust performance before overheating, in combination with an excellent maneuverability, which I would read adequate to an Anvil arrow, make the Hawk a hard-to-hit target, which can still deal out well. If you include the damage of the EMP in our DPS, we reach the value of a Buccaneer, which is known for its punch. And the effort of the EMP, paired with the nutrition repeaters, which also require close range in combat, becomes quickly visible, especially against larger opponents. Here, Valkyries, Vanguards or other larger targets usually burst in a short approach, so in a few seconds. Perhaps a subjective assessment, but for me very clearly true. And if we are talking about a subjective assessment, the Hawk combines for me the firepower of a Buccaneer with the maneuverability of the arrow, as well as the taker qualities through a thickened shield like the Gladius. Almost too much of a good thing. But how such a fight looks like without cuts, but completely against the Vanguard, I show you with this example. And here the opponents are really interchangeable in this scale. And finally an example for the EMP effect as soon as the shields of the targets show a gap. Let's move on to the atmospheric flight characteristics of the Anvil Hawk. The Hawk gives a very similar flight feel to the Anvil Arrow, so it is excellent to control, offers very strong thrust, is very maneuverable and has strong roll behavior. In short, among the best in this category of ships. Let's come to the summary for this small bird of prey. The Hawk offers an EMP, excellent combat speed, is small and extremely maneuverable. We need more room for pros. The damage is good, we have 2 shields and can log out or transport a passenger. The only drawbacks are the lack of missiles, less than optimal cockpit visibility and the fact that most of the weapons are attached to the wings. In summary, the usable limit for the Anvil Hawk is a good deal, greater than that of its competitors. And so it's now a fixed part of my hangar. I hope you liked the video and leave me a like and a subscribe here. The Anvil Hawk is actually everything we can expect from a light fighter and more. We have the possibility to follow a bounty hunter career later on, we can take a passenger with us, log out, have an EMP and the whole thing packed in a nice hull. For me the Hawk is one of the best light fighters so far, but there will be a comparison test where we compare all light fighters soon. Of course, there's also a giveaway for February, a Grey Kid Rock in the subscriber edition and a complete Avis armor. You can find out how to participate in the description. And if you are looking for like-minded people for a journey through the verse, join us, we are an adult and relaxed community. And oh yes, we are still looking for an English-speaking community manager. But the most important thing at the end. A big thank you to all Patreons, channel members and Twitch subscribers. Thank you, without you, all this would not be possible in this form. You guys rock. I say see you soon. And goodbye until next time. And say as always, see you in the verse.